Good morning, everybody. Are we live yet? Let me see. Hey, good morning, everybody. We are live. Let's head over to the live show. Welcome. I want to welcome everybody on YouTube and Facebook today. How about that? We are simulcasting, as far as I can tell. And Barry Friedman with you on a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening, depending where you are in the world. And let's do this. Good morning. We are back. Hey, drop a comment in there. Good afternoon from Maryland. My first ever YouTube comment. Look at that. We're simulcasting today. So cool. For a somewhat technophobe, everything we've created here and everything we've been doing with these live feeds and in ShowBiz Blueprint has kind of blown my mind. But today, pushing it to a new level and actually Facebook and live. A lot of people asked for it, and I was able to figure out how to do it with some great help. So I'm excited to be on both channels today, shooting out live on ShowBiz Blueprint. I am shooting out on my personal Facebook page. I didn't quite have that technology figured out to go over to the ShowBiz Blueprint Facebook page. YouTube channel. Sorry, broadcasting on my own personal YouTube channel. Next time I'll do it on the ShowBiz Blueprint YouTube channel. But one step at a time. Boom, boom, boom. In fact, I talk so much in ShowBiz Blueprint about progress, not perfection, and key example of it right there. We're going to dig in today. Good. We got Mr. Mysterio here, Mark, which is cool. Good to share some of these comments here. And Barry Richards, who's an awesome dude from Charlotte, North Carolina, a ShowBiz Blueprint alumni. Yeah, I know. That was good, Brian. The music felt like something really big was going to happen, didn't it? Huge. Fun little site I've been using to make some intros. Well, good. We are live and digging in. Hey, can you pop into the screen what kind of an act you do? I'd love to just kind of get a feel for who we have on here and what kind of act do you do? Singing, juggling, dancing, comedian, ventriloquist, magician. What are you doing so I can get, hey, Anthem, good to see you. So I can get a beat on the group here. And gosh, man, jump onto YouTube. I can't believe it. We have YouTube people here. Very cool. All right. Hey, today I wanted to share, I don't even have a slideshow prepared today because really this one I want to talk about from the heart. I just want to stay on screen, share with you some examples of what's going on. How we next level up our life as entertainers. And yeah, it's wonderful. We do our shows. I did my show for 34 years, and I took longer than many to start really using my superpowers as an entertainer in other fields. But boy, coming around, and that's what I want to talk about today. Just catch my breath because it's really wild. I'll look at our YouTube person here. This is funny. Amy says, I pretend to be a legal tech guru. I guess that's her act. We all have some kind of a show that we do. That's pretty funny. We got magic. We got interactive music events. Awesome. Hi, Pete. Good to see you here. Interactive music events. I do love the sound of that. Sure, exactly. I bet you I've been at them. I bet you I've been at acts that can qualify as interactive music events. But maybe I just didn't call it that. And you know what? That brings up a great point. Make sure we're calling our show something that inspires a client, a prospect, to go, oh man, I need that. We can't ever allow prospects to actually think and expect them to connect dots. So interactive music event, I bet that makes perfect sense to Pete, and maybe, just maybe, might be losing some prospects, turning them into clients because they go, I don't know what that means. But yeah, digging in, finding out what words they would use to describe that. Pretty powerful stuff. All right, other folks on here. No one else. Oh, here we go. Barry's putting in his act. I see a bunch of people on here on the different channels. Just type in what kind of show you do. I'd love to be able to customize this as I go along. Barry Richards, interactive game shows sometimes, birthday magic shows, corporate magic, close-up. Awesome. Good. Man, good stuff to be doing. Woo! So here's the deal today. There is a module in ShowBiz Blueprint, which is a 10-week group coaching program that I teach once a year, March 27th. Go to showbizblueprint.com or just put a comment in this, this Facebook Live. Even if you're watching on replay, put a comment in there and I'll send you some info to go sign up for ShowBiz Blueprint for the early bird notification list. That begins March 20th. So March 20th, we're doing that. We had to move it out a couple of weeks for personal reasons, but now that's set up March 20th. But one of my favorite modules ever, really, that I teach in that course is about using our powers as entertainers, our ability to jump in front of a camera, to smile, to know how to talk, to entertain, to hold an audience, to not be a talking head in other areas of the world that have massively bigger audiences than you will ever have booking your act. Yes, a huge part of ShowBiz Blueprint is focused on booking your act, better venues for more money, more effectively, more efficiently. That, of course, is what we do. And as I've continued to develop ShowBiz Blueprint, this will be the 13th edition of ShowBiz Blueprint, I have really added the focus of what else can we do in the world? Where else can we show up big? Where else do we have skills, knowledge, expertise, past jobs, interviews that we've done? Where do we have some other skill, knowledge, where there is a massive audience? You know, it's no secret, and I've mentioned it a couple times here, in our live videos that we've been doing, I've mentioned 30 Days Sugar-Free. One of the very, very, very big programs in my life. And it's funny looking at this right now. This has all been rebranded. You wouldn't even know I had anything to do with this. But this was me going from starting something, running it for 4 years, and then listening to a podcast where a great, powerful Peter Diamandis, leader, inventor, you know, world movement creator, said into this podcast, good leaders know when to get out of the way of progress. And that's when I got out of the way of this program's progress and hired someone who is actually a person who matches the demographic of the product. You know, it was people would come to this program, this page, and see big bald man, and our Facebook fan page, which has 55,000 plus members, 99% women. So I was a mismatch. I was a bottleneck. So we just rebranded this entire program. I'm still running all the business of it, and no longer the face of it, which is awesome. So I used my skills to go on and do over 25 television appearances as an author. Let me see. I went on to do 25 TV appearances because I know how to show up on TV, because I know how to make something engaging. So I took something here, created a whole movement, a program that helps people around the world go 30 days without sugar so that they can, for once and for all, find out who they are on the other side of their addiction to processed and added sugar. So it's very possible, it's doable. Here, I'll just play this in the background here. Let me kill the audio. You'll just get a peek at what happens when you take your skills as an entertainer and apply them to something else. And I was literally going through our ShowBiz Blueprint alumni group this morning, all the members, over 200 members, and I was taking a look at each name and just seeing what have they done that's outside. And this was the weirdest thing in the world. I got to one of them, and I'll mention it when I show you the examples. I got to one of them and started crying, just looking at the impact that we've had by running ShowBiz Blueprint in a way that, yeah, it takes care of, you know, what you probably want. Booking more gigs, yeah, I mean, I get it, and I know coming at it, you're like, hey, dude, that's all I want. I get it, and there's a bigger growth that happens inside this program where you get to actually figure out, what else am I amazing at? What else can I help thousands, millions of people with, instead of just being able to book my show? And yeah, like I say, I'll reiterate, never want that to go away. But look at that, going on TV, and instead of talking about Americans eating 8 pounds of sugar, actually all first world people now eating 8 pounds of sugar every 3 weeks, I bring an 8-pound bowling ball and actually have the host hand it to me and juggle it. How it affects the brain, the liver, the heart. Instead of just talking about that, I use my skills as an entertainer to actually juggle the brain, the heart, and the liver and engage the guest. So this is just fun stuff that we can all do as entertainers when we play bigger. You know, when we start looking at, what's the bigger possibility in our life. All right, good. Let me I didn't even know I was going to show that stuff. I brought those up here, but I like giving examples. What can I tell you? So let me take a second here. Oh, nice. Michael's listening as he drives home from church. That's how dedicated I am. Dude, that is so cool. I love that. Yeah. Good. Hey, so let me invite you guys to do something. Let's make these interactive as we can. Drop into the box something else in the world that you have either expertise, past experience, thriving interest, or something that has just been in you your whole life that you've been dying to talk to the world about. And I could possibly help you even on this live segment, how you might be able to take that from this idea, incorporate all your skills, presentation, speaking, knowing how to show up in front of a camera, and build a bigger live audience that's around the world. Because that's mind-blowing. I mean, it's mind-blowing to think that playing bigger doesn't mean just booking your show more often for more money, but instead capitalizing on everything you've learned from your decades on stage and turning that into a product, a book, a keynote speech, a program. 30 Days Sugar-Free is an automated program that's literally an ATM machine in my life because I put in all the work to automate it so that when people join, I mean, my only job in the world is to drive traffic to that page. The sales funnels, everything else, which I teach in ShowBiz Blueprint, all of those take care of themselves, and then the program is automatically delivered. So anything else that you think you could do? Anthem, oh man, look at this. This is Anthem, who's an awesome dude. ShowBiz Blueprint alumni. Film production, piano, opera, music production. So let me just take that one as a great example. Are there more people in the world who are interested in film production, piano, opera, music production than would ever hire Anthem and Arya, he and his wife, to do magic shows? Yes, there's plenty of both, and there are millions out there. So, I mean, my secret agenda, as I called this live video, is I just wanted to give you a peek under the curtain of this secret agenda that I have for so many entertainers. What's this one Mark put up? This is interesting. I've never seen this. Customer service, leadership, ethical sales, being happy in life. Sent you an email, by the way. Awesome. Cool. I'll check that out. Yeah, customer service. Should an entertainer who, what are we as entertainers? I mean, are we anything short of being masters at customer service? I mean, in live, in real time, under pressure, usually doing some sort of crazy stunts. Yeah. Do we have something to teach the world about customer service? Oh gosh, incredible. This is good. David Lawrence, he's talking about, although currently a full-time magician, I was once a full-time musician guitarist. So many amazing programs online about learning guitar. In fact, I'm going to show you an example of one of those from an alumni, not guitar, but in the music world. So all we have to do is look at the gifts that we have acquired, hard-earned gifts that we now have in our possession that we can share with the world, marry those to some other interest or education, experience, burning passion that we have to talk about in our life, and then do the work to create something bigger. I did that. That's why I have Get More Corporate Gigs, my very first online program. That's why I have ShowBiz Blueprint. That's why I have 30 Days Sugar-Free. It's why I'm involved in a couple other online projects that I didn't create, but do the marketing for. There is a bigger audience out here, and our skills as entertainers puts us in first place, puts us at the best starting position to go out and share that knowledge with the world. Oh, what is this? This is interesting. I wrote show operations CRM systems for entertainers. Oh, interesting. Show operations CRM. Interesting. Okay, I don't know about that one. But, another great thing to talk about, and our skills as entertainers, again, position us perfectly to jump in and do this. Oh my gosh. I got to bring this one up because this is amazing. JoJo, a family magician mostly, school and birthday parties, but also sheriff in a jail. Oh, man. So, where my brain kind of goes around that, JoJo, and I'll just jump in and just tell you an idea that comes up for me around that is this just juxtaposition, right? I mean, it's massive, it's huge. And how many of us in life, how many people in life live with some sort of a juxtaposition? You know, artists who work in corporate America because they're afraid of stepping out. Moms who want to go back to work but want to also stay with the babies. I mean, that's a powerful paradox you live in. You know, talk about both hands fully loaded and going from being a sheriff in a jail to a birthday party magician. That's amazing. So a great story. And you know, one of the places that I really talk about taking these stories is into TV, local news. Yeah, you should be doing that too. We do a short segment on that, and I refer everybody to an amazing training that I was a part of to how to get on TV. I took my book and instantly went from being on no local news shows to being able to write proposals at will and be on 25 TV shows, which did a lot for my book and my online program. Good, so let's go through, oh, that's cool. JoJo said I partnered with the Sheriff's Department and they sponsor her to go to schools. That's really cool. I mean, to be able to go there and talk about what you see in your other job and why you may want to stay on the straight and narrow on that stuff. Yeah, really cool. Oh, this is interesting. This is Amy who's writing from YouTube. I'm so happy to bring YouTube comments in. I don't know how many people are watching on YouTube. My first time doing it. I hope to one day teach how to be a good manager. Pet peeve is bad managers. Oh, man. Talk about that. That's amazing. So yeah, a good manager and using your skills as a presence, as an entertainer, as a speaker, as someone who can jump in front of a camera and be engaging. Yeah, that's powerful. That's the big separator. Okay, what I want to do on this broadcast right now, this, by the way, for you guys who have been watching my lives leading up to the launch of ShowBiz Blueprint 2018, maybe seeing this is why I do slides. Keeps me totally on track. And happy to be hanging with you guys today and doing this. Let me run through a couple ShowBiz Blueprint alumni. Like I said, I went through this morning and spent about 15 minutes just looking down the list of 200 plus members and kind of just thinking, what have they done outside of this? And some are like, boom, and some are like, oh, they're building this thing and having this opportunity. And I want to just start this off by saying, I wish I had a slide to put this in writing. I do not take credit for any of what you've seen here. All I can tell you is that most of these projects were created after the module about ShowBiz Blueprint, when I said, look, you guys, you have the skill to play bigger, to attract a bigger audience, to just take risks. And I push people every single week to get outside of the comfort zone. And I talked about it a few weeks ago, that swinging for the fences thing. I mean, inside the program, that's kind of where I live. I said, yeah, here's the stuff to book your act. And what are we doing this week to make you stand out, play bigger? So let me run through some of these. Let me head into the split screen and we'll look at these. This is a totally beautiful alumni, and I'm getting messages on my screen here. Let me pop these out. These are amazing. This is Faith Amor, who is a ShowBiz Blueprint alumni. This is live. I mean, this is fresh. She was just in Guyana. I think she's flying back today, actually, for International Women's Day. Pushed her to always play bigger, to use her love of jazz and her unique positioning of just being this woman who, she does an Ella Fitzgerald show. She is from Guyana, which is just a country that we don't think about a whole lot. How could she combine her skills, her love of jazz, to bring history into schools in front of audiences? And through some amazing coincidences, and I put that in quotes because there are no coincidences, she was invited and flown out to Guyana to perform at International Women's Day. Love that. Much bigger. Dr. Bob Becker, 50 years, ventriloquist and magician, now speaking to doctors about bringing the elements of show business into the exam room, the performance of medicine, amazing book he wrote, and speaking to audiences. Tom Crowell creates Learn Ventriloquism, the biggest online ventriloquism school. Julian Mather, ShowBiz Blueprint alumni. Amazing story on Julian, man, because I just love him. You know, created this radical site for kids entertainers. It's global around the world. And this is what he came to ShowBiz Blueprint with, was a massive YouTube following. What's he got on this? 135,000. But you look at these videos, he spent a whole lot of time creating an online magic school. And these videos have, 177,000 views, 314,000 views, 242,000 views, 371. 1,000 views. So he had this thing, went on to create a couple of kids entertainment hubs, courses for kids entertainers, and just, exponentially took what he was doing, saw himself in this possible place of being able just to play bigger and bigger and bigger. And now let me see what else he's doing. He's got this kids entertainment hub. He's got, that's someone else we'll talk about. Oh, here's what else he's got. And now he's speaking, author, educator. And look at this amazing headline. This is how to position yourself. A magician, an army sniper, a globe-trotting TV cameraman walk into a bar. All the same person as him. So the positioning. And Julian's educated himself through a bunch of ways. Again, I'll just repeat, I don't claim credit for any of these things. All of these started after we started talking in ShowBiz Blueprint about taking our skills out into the world in a bigger one. Fred and Bobby Becker. Fred Becker, a legend in the cruise ship entertainment world, probably 30 plus, has written, what many consider the Bible of cruise ship, how to work on cruise ships. Created an entire online course with his wife, which kicks butt. I mean, gosh, this course is unbelievable. But he teaches entertainers how to go on cruise ships. So again, taking his skills as an entertainer and seeing what else can I do to affect more people in the world, to create other forms of income, to serve, to position myself as a bigger expert, which is what all of this is about. Let's see, I brought up a whole bunch of people. I literally just looked at the alumni group and started bringing up what they were doing. And honestly, I'll tell you, I got through about 50 before I ran out of time, out of the 200 plus. I bet you if I kept going through the list, there would have been even better examples, and we can come back and, not even better, what am I talking about? More examples for sure. Everyone's doing amazing stuff who's doing this. Oh my gosh, I love this dude. This is Dan O'Sullivan, ShowBiz Blueprint alumni. Went from writing and doing magic to just creating this incredible online program, very much along the lines, the blueprint of what we do in ShowBiz Blueprint, with giving away value in advance, helping people on live webinars, and then creating a course that where he makes passive income. So he does that in ukulele. And he is solely responsible for why I own 2 of these now and play them like an addicted person. I mean, it's out of control, but it's all because of, I'm probably freaking some of you guys out who thought I was in front of a green screen. So running back and grabbing something off the green screen. But yeah, Dano is totally responsible for that, man. I will blame all of that on him. So yeah, great. Took his skills, his ability to present, to be on camera, to write funny material, to just show up and know how to make people come alive, and turned it into a ukulele school, an online ukulele school. Unbelievable. Jeff Celentano, amazing guy, ShowBiz Blueprint alumni, created True Artist 360, which is an entire platform that allows entertainers, really anyone, but he's focusing on entertainers smartly, bands, which he's a part of a band, to create a web presence, a database, squeeze pages, webinars, literally everything. But he's adapted an entire online toolbox for entertainers, and he teaches his members a 30-day Kickstart program for how to actually use all this stuff. Again, looking at his skills as an entertainer and opening his scope to what else can I do. Man, this is fun to look through. This is one I am so proud of, and I will claim up front have nothing to do with, but it was around the same time that he did ShowBiz Blueprint. Scott Neary created LA sensational show, the Booby Trap Show, which my son and I have been a guest on, and it's the most fun you can have in LA on a Wednesday night. Taking his skills as an entertainer and just saying, how can I even blow this up bigger? I mean, that is the core of ShowBiz Blueprint. That's what I talk about more than anything, is just how to play bigger in this world, how to use the limited time, the shelf life that you have left on this planet to impact the most people in the world. So Scott's done this thing, and boy, oh my gosh, the branding, the beautifulness of it, the smoothness with which the show runs, how much fun people have, the buzz he's getting, in a town where it's very hard to be heard. 5 stars Yelp, 5 stars Facebook, 5 stars TripAdvisor, and tickets and info, and just, oh gosh, so much fun, so much fun. So doing that. Then I went over to Amazon and I just started looking up a handful of alumni. I know that I think I have 15 alumni books that weren't in the world before ShowBiz Blueprint. So again, just expanding people's reach out. I grabbed some of the ones I found in the first 50 I looked for. Joshua Seth, amazing dude. the voice of Digimon, right? Yeah, I'm doing great and does amazing live shows, but wrote a book, Finding Focus in a Busy World, speaks to audiences about focus, corporate audiences about focus, tricks to use, tips, strategies to use for improving focus. Niels Dunker, Catching Greatness, A Guide to Thriving in a World Plagued by Gravity. Great title. And this book is an inspiration to children. I mean, he sent me a box of them. Every school in my district here has a copy or two of that in their library. But an inspiring book to talk about the steps and how a guy who was from a small town in the Netherlands, became a world famous juggler, and how kids can apply that to their life as well. Playing bigger. Chris Ruggiero, amazing dude, also has a good show in LA too that I went to see, Stellar Mystique, right? Where he has artists and then interviews them. But other guys creating big shows, wrote an amazing book, which I've read twice now, called Just Go. Really, really powerful book. This is the one. This is the one that got my eyes running this morning when I went to do this. This is Jason Michaels, ShowBiz Blueprint alumni, who has suffered, he's made it public now, and I'm all right to say it, has suffered with Tourette syndrome his entire life. Wouldn't talk about it, and then through some conversations, through ShowBiz Blueprint, through some private work I did with him, got him to talk about it, wrote a book about the experience, now speaking to groups about Tourette's, parents about groups, Tourette's, creating coaching programs, and private work with parents who are suffering, children who are suffering with Tourette's. Did a TEDx talk. He's done 2 TEDx talks, but this one was so damn vulnerable. Actually walked on stage in a straitjacket, talking about what it was like to spend his body trapped in his life trapped in this body that is suffering from Tourette's, and escapes and makes a beautiful talk. So this one kicks my ass, I'll just tell you, to see the work he did. To go from where he was with this relationship of not talking about it, because phenomenally, just remarkably, it goes away when he walks on stage. Do we have superpowers as entertainers or what? He doesn't have any of the effects of it on stage, but off stage, he shares this openly in videos. It's amazing. So that's a huge one, and that one kicks my butt. Brad Zupp, awesome ShowBiz Blueprint alumni, writing words for corporate world, a world champion memory expert, right? This guy memorizes, I don't even want to embarrass myself by saying how many places he memorizes pi to for these world championships and all these other trigger games. But wrote books on it now for children, for corporations, speaks to corporations about memory and the power of that. Jen Slaw, oh my gosh, what an amazing young lady she is, right? Came from being I don't want to say run-of-the-mill juggler, always an amazing person, and there are no run-of-the-mill jugglers because we put in our time, but started thinking about how to play bigger in the world and created an entire corporate talk now that she gets to speak about all over the country and some international dates, redefining what's possible and mainly speaking to female audiences about the work-life balance. And now an amazing product that we spent an hour on the whiteboard working on last week. A new site for mothers, and a very targeted site. So I'll let her announce that out to the world, but good stuff. Let me just pop over. Do I have one more I want to show you guys? Oh yeah, one more alumni. This was the last one I found. Oh, and I couldn't find his page for some reason. But this is Chad Chesmark, who's an awesome, is this his? Yeah, Crush Stage Fright. Wrote a book. He's talking and running an online program about crushing stage fright. All powerful stuff, and I just didn't get to find his website in time. I ran out of time before we went live here. But again, taking a magic act, a mentalism act that he's been doing forever, and looking, how can I play bigger? How can I blow this out into the world? Anyway, that's a handful of examples. This is my secret agenda for every entertainer, is that we don't spend our entire life only doing our show, but instead we realize the potential we have to take a message, an interest, a movement, and use our skills to blow it out into something that is bigger than we've ever imagined, so that we can affect more people, we can create something that gives us additional income, and we can make a bigger mark in this world. And that's the big thing. Let me jump into the comments real quick. Just share a little bit of what's going on here. Mark says, how powerful is that? Yeah, awesome, man. Isn't this something? Amy, all these alumni changing the world. I tell you, I was looking down that list of our alumni today, and I had not ever done that until I started putting this together. Man, I just realized that. Going back to the ukulele here, do I juggle those 4 strings? No, but I'll tell you, I was a suffering guitarist for 15 years, 18 years, something like that. And I've not really touched my guitar since I bought ukuleles. Man, been incredible. All right, you guys, that's it. Any other questions? Some people put in here what they've done, but if anyone wants to take a look at what they've done specifically and how that might tie into a bigger program, I'm happy to brainstorm. I can kick on the whiteboard over there. We could dig into some of that if you want and brainstorm out a few ideas. Happy to spend a little more of Sunday morning with you. Ooh, but man, that's an emotional ride just to look at how entertainers go through. And this is funny, you know. There's a story arc. Every single movie follows this story arc called the hero's journey. It's 12 stages, and you know it starts with a desire, and then it moves into the denial stage. There's these 12 steps along the way, and then something happens. There's an ordeal. They overcome it. They have some success. They have a setback. They fight through the success. I mean, you could trace the hero's journey story arc into every single movie. And it happens with something like this. When I introduce this module in ShowBiz Blueprint, I know it. There's a lot. I don't do that. I don't have any interest. I don't have anything extra to do. I don't have anything. And then I watch the 12 stages of the hero's journey start to unwind with people. And we've ended up with some life-changing programs, books, keynotes, appearances on TV. Anything you could imagine has come out of these, and I'm just so happy about that. All right, you guys, I don't see any more comments coming in. Maybe people are just thinking about it. Maybe you're sitting firmly on stage 1 of the 12 stages of the hero's journey. But I will call it a day. Enjoy this one on replay. Feel free to drop any comments in along the way. I'm happy to jump back in and answer these things and engage with them. Oh man, I'll just end on this one because this is a powerful one. Isn't it amazing how one life does touch so many others? I mean, we hear that a lot, but it's very true in life. Hey, spot on, Mark. Thanks so much. All right, everybody, have a great Sunday, a big week coming up ahead, I hope. On Friday, I talked about a Friday practice that I do every single week. Did you guys dig into those? Did you find something you're going to commit to this week that's a money-making activity, that is a swing for the fences, and that is a community engagement giveaway? Remember all 3 of those. I came up with some big ones this week, and I can't wait for the next week to launch. All right, you guys, Barry Friedman with ShowBiz Blueprint, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.